I have been growing supermarket basil on my windowsill in my kitchen for quite a while now. But we're now in September, we're getting closer towards the end of September, and I can see that it's starting to lose its edge a bit because the weather's going, it's getting colder, and like most plants it will die off in winter. So I want to preserve as much of this plant as I possibly can. So today I'm going to show you how I will be preserving basil. There are various different ways that you can do it. I use this one because it's the cheapest, quickest and simplest way to do it, and is also the most accessible. So let me show you what I'm going to do. The first thing you need is an ice cube tray. I happen to have a silicone one here, but any old ice cube tray will do. It doesn't make any difference. The second thing you will need is a pair of scissors. And of course the third thing you need is your basil plant. Now, despite the fact that this is obviously starting to go off a little bit now because of the weather, I am going to try and keep this plant going as long as possible. So when you cut basil, if you cut just at the point where there is like 2 leaves, it will resprout. So I'm going to take these right back to basics and preserve as much as I can, but I'm also going to keep the plant alive because who knows, it may pick up. So I'm just going to cut above, and there you can see the 2 leaves and the new shoots will come out from there. This plant really does need chopping back actually. I haven't used an awful lot of basil this year, and I've just been letting it grow because I just enjoy seeing these things grow. So bear with me, this is going to take a little bit of time. Okay, that's how it now looks. It looks sad, but I think looking at it, it's probably finished for the year. I am going to let it sit though, because you never know. So that's going to go back onto the windowsill. So what I now have, let's just move this around, is a nice pile of leaves. And all I'm going to do, I'm going to take off the ones that are a little bit off because they're not all perfect. And I'm going to, you can chop them. I get a pair of scissors and just cut them, it's easier. And I'm literally just going to squidge these together and just cut them up. So give me a moment and we'll do all the, I'm going to do all the leaves, all the stalks, the whole lot is going to go in. The smell is amazing. I love the smell of basil. I love pesto. I love any of this. So this is going to be a great staple to have available through the winter when I just want that feel of summer, of Italian cooking, and I just want to enjoy something a little bit different that's not going to cost me any more money, because I've already spent on this plant this year. I bought several plants in the supermarket. They were looking a bit unhappy, but with some water and a little bit of care and some repotting, they are absolutely fine. So when you see the cheap plants, discounted plants in the supermarket because they're not looking so hot, there's nothing wrong with them, they've just been neglected, and you can take them home and revive them in no time at all. After a couple of days, these plants were looking much happier. So I'm just going to work on all of this. There's a lot more here than I thought there would be, which is great news. And then we have a nice tub of chopped basil. Now the next thing you are going to do is get your ice cube tray, and basically you're going to stuff each segment with as much basil as you can fit in. There we go. Make sure your basil is nicely squished into all the holes, because otherwise it's going to get burnt by the ice. It won't be so nice. So now we have that. And now I am going to fill the remaining space with water. Hopefully this will fill all the gaps between the leaves. A little bit overfull. We can pour the excess off at the end. That's not a problem. Pushed out some of the excess water. I'll just squish these in so they're submerged. Looks pretty good. And then all you need to do is put this in the freezer. When it's completely frozen, push them out into a plastic bag, and every time you want basil, get an ice cube, pop it into the frying pan or whatever you're cooking, and you have instant fresh basil. Perfect.